Connor Rogers here from the NFL Combine alongside Joshua Perry and Stanford tight end Sam Roush. Sam, you go from obviously the college football season, Senior Bowl here. What's the whirlwind been like for you?
It's been exciting. It's a process, and you got to work hard to be a part of this process. And obviously, the work you put in college, that's your resume. But now I'm here to just kind of prove myself and show the scouts what I got.
I feel like a lot of this stuff doesn't happen overnight, and from looking at the research, you've got a very athletic family. So
yes, sir.
How competitive was the household growing up?
It was competitive. My dad, his brother both played in college. Their dad played in college. My mom was a volleyball player. Her dad played in college in the NFL, and his brothers played in the NFL. So it was a competitive household.
You're meant for the NFL.
It's a family business.
Yes.
Competitive household. I always knew I was going to play football. My mom wanted to keep me safe. Didn't play till I was in high school, but my dad convinced her rugby was safer, so I did a little bit of that growing up. But yeah, competitive household. We had when I went to school, we had like a record board. Mile run. How many pull-ups can you do? How many push-ups can you do? And I wanted to be on every single record on there. So
that's amazing.
Looking back on that take that rugby was safer, as like an adult, do you agree now?
I mean, maybe when you're a kid.
Yeah.
But you see those guys. I mean, they've got head wraps and
it's wild.
Broken arm, and they're still playing, and it's wild. It's wild.
Having gone through it, what kind of advice did your family give you about not only being a college athlete, but now stepping into this new journey? Yeah,
I mean, obviously, I talked to my dad, his teammates, and my grandpa, and the biggest advice is just find your way onto the field and don't let them take you off. So that's I'm going to carry that mindset into the NFL, where I'm going to make it as hard as possible for those coaches to take me off the field.
What stands out to me watching your tape, over 1,000 snaps the last 2 years on the line of scrimmage.
Yes,
like, that's real dirty work,
yes,
like
sir.
lunch pail kind of stuff, and just the effort. How much pride do you take in that aspect of your game? Because we see all these tight ends playing off the line of scrimmage and playing almost slot receiver, but it feels like that's the identity of your game.
Yes, sir. No, I take, of all the aspects of my game, I take the most pride in, my physicality and, my toughness. And I want to be when I walk out on the field, I want to be the most physically sound and toughest guy on the field, and nobody can take me down.
It's the physicality is not just when you're in line and you're blocking guys. Like when you catch the football and you're trying to make a play, you want to punish people coming to make a tackle too. So just, bring me into that world of like, I'm bringing the contact all the time.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So after my sophomore year, my coach sat me down. We watched about 20 minutes of Pat Fryermuth film, and he said, "This is what it needs to look like when you catch the ball."
Interesting.
So you go watch some Pat Fryermuth film, and you'll see him running through people and running through contact. And I want to show that every time I step on the field.
I like it.
So the school aspect, pretty tough program to get into.
Yes,
computer science major.
Yep.
How was the experience at Stanford, both as a football player but also as a student?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, the guys that go to Stanford, it's guys that want to challenge themselves.
Yeah.
That was part of the decision. Is like, look, I want to challenge myself in every aspect of my life, and how you do the small things, how you do all things, and grinded through computer science. Definitely some tough classes in there. It's a tough major, but loved every second of it.
How much time did you get to spend around Andrew Luck?
A lot. He's very involved in the program. He's an amazing man, a leader of men. He'd take snaps for us, the inside run period, and do all that, and he's awesome.
What was the biggest thing that you learned from him?
Yeah, obviously, just what it takes. He lives and breathes football.
Yeah.
And, it's a huge part of his identity, and he kind of showed us all what it takes to be a great program and to be a great leader. And when he was at Stanford, Stanford was rolling, right? And that's in large part to his work.
What's the day-to-day like right now? Because it's so different going from football environment, Stanford Senior Bowl,
Yes, sir.
and now it's more track testing, athletic testing. The dieting stories we've been told on this set all week are wild out here. So what's your day-to-day right now?
Yeah, well, it's been nice for me. I haven't had a diet. I'm coming in here at my playing weight, 265.
Love to see it. Yep.
It's been fun. I never ran track in high school, so doing all this training, it's crazy how explosive it makes you. Stuff I never thought I'd be able to do, and it's wild. It's been awesome to see just consistent improvement, and I've been loving every second of it.
You seem like a really serious guy. What is your personality like when it's just you and the guys in the locker room, or like when you're at home?
Yeah, no, we have fun. It's a lot easier once you get to know some people.
That's fair.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I roomed with 5 of my teammates this past year, and that was an amazing experience. Loved every second of it, and those are my brothers, and it's an extension of my family. Is the guys in the locker room that I go to war with every day.
We've read that you've had some pretty serious backpacking trips, hiking trips. Is there a dream one on the list, a place you'd like to see that you haven't yet?
I haven't thought about it in a while. It's been a while since I've really gotten outdoors. Just with football, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
But growing up, we did some fun stuff. We did some boys trips with my dad and my buddies, and we went to the Tetons, and when we were living overseas, we did some fun stuff. Went up to the Annapurna circuit in Nepal. But yeah, it's awesome, and I love spending time outdoors, going to the Wind River Range and all that.
We also found out that you can solve a Rubik's Cube, and we don't have one here with us. But
yeah, we're not going to put you through that.
The practice, just to learn how to do, I know it's kind of a pattern there, but what was it like learning how to do the Rubik's Cube?
Yeah, when I was in middle school, there was like a fad that was going through kind of my grade, and everyone was doing these Rubik's Cubes, and I was like, all right, I'm going to be the best at this. And so I got a Rubik's Cube and, spent a little bit of time, figured out how to solve it, and then, taught myself some new techniques to get faster. And I figured out, I think I solved it in, just under 30 seconds, but I'm not there anymore. But yeah, I wanted to be the best at that too.
Were you like taking the pieces out and putting the grease in and everything?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had it all dialed down.
Sam Roush, man, you are an interesting dude, and I mean that in the best way. Yes. The Rubik's Cube off the field, the hiking, but on the field, you're a dog, man. Yeah, we see it on the tape. So we've loved watching you play, and we really appreciate you stopping by today.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.